Well, hello again, friends, neighbors. Won't you be my neighbor? Denny here again in the Jeep with another video. I hope you enjoyed the last one about living with regret. I just thought I'd make another video here, kind of related. Yeah, it just has to do with how I've been feeling the last couple days. Been fairly busy with, obligations and just getting the final taxes stuff done, like the bookkeeping for my business. And yeah, it's all filed with the government now, so that part's over. And so I can kind of put that behind me for a little bit. I just got to go in and pay the accountant. Yes, I am having a rock star today. I haven't had one in a little while, so wow, it's windy out here in Alberta. Yeah, so today I was just, when you live alone and single and all that, no family, a lot of time for introspection, as you know, as some of you live that life as well. And I'm just wondering if you ever find yourself in just like a rut, or you just feel a little lost, and you lose your sense of purpose and direction. You're just kind of going through the motions every day, doing what you need to do to survive and just your daily obligations, but it lacks fulfillment a lot of times. And you get to wondering, like when you're in your 40s or middle-aged, are you struggling because maybe you're supposed to have a family at this point in your life, and maybe a partner or a spouse, wife, husband, whatever? So you don't have that going for you. And then you've reached an interesting period where you're kind of done with the lifestyle of your 20s and 30s, where you were going out more and socializing a bit more. And that's not as common now for people who are that age, because they're busy with family. So you're kind of lost in between. You don't know what to do. You don't want to be partying and hanging out with kids, but you're also not married with your own kids, and you don't have that occupying your time and your headspace. Now you can argue that, and we've talked about this on the channel, other videos, of the advantages of being single and childless, where you don't have that responsibility, and you have a little bit more peace and quiet, and you get to do your own thing, a little bit more freedom, which is true. But you also sometimes, sorry, you take another drink here. Fruit punch, 0 sugar. Probably not good for you, but what tastes good isn't good for you. So yeah, I mean, you kind of feel lost, like I do. I don't know which way to go. I have the opportunity sometimes to go out with friends, but I'm at that age now where, honestly, a lot of times I really just don't feel like it. And with the economy the way it is, a lot of times you can't really afford to go on like a long run of going out every weekend and having a good time. It's just not in the budget right now. So there's that, but a lot of times you just don't feel like it. And then you do the comfortable thing, the fun sort of thing you fall back on, which is just spending time alone and doing the things you enjoy, like watching for me, watching old movies, or watching sports, or going down like a YouTube rabbit hole. and just doing that in your spare time in the evenings, and whatever time you're not working. So you can occupy your time with that, but then that gets a little, it feels like there's something lacking. You're just kind of in a room or in a space all alone, and you're just craving things like, you're just confused of whether, you should be doing something else like raising kids yourself, if that's biologically wired into you or something. I don't know all of evolutionary psychology or anything like that, but I know when you don't feel like you don't have a purpose, that's when really that dull feeling, that not necessarily like a strong depression, but just that feeling empty and feeling like you don't have a purpose and you're just kind of killing time. And I get that way sometimes, and I just want to know if you can relate to that, where you're stuck. You feel like you're stuck in a rut. You don't know whether you should be upset that you're not, you don't have kids and a wife, or whether you're upset at yourself that you don't have the energy to go out and live it up. Or maybe that's not what you're supposed to be doing when you're like 45 years old. I don't know. And like for me, staying home on weekends, I mean, it's nice now, and it's almost like the majority of the time, I'd say the last couple of years, weekends have been alone. And other than visiting my mother on Sundays, usually Friday, Saturday nights is really chill. Now I stay home. Sometimes I'll do a side hustle gig, like some food delivery on a Friday night. And then Saturdays I try to be busy, like with, maybe I got some work stuff going on, get some chores done around the house, get your shopping done, and get the, obligations out of the way. And then you have Saturday night to chill. And also hitting the gym on the weekend, I try to do a couple times. So yeah, there's stuff to do. But it's not, anything like, it's all fairly routine. And on one hand, routine is comforting, and on the other hand, there's monotony and staleness to it. And you just kind of go back and forth, and it just messes with my head sometimes, because I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I don't always know what my purpose is, other than just to survive. And my more spiritual side is, pulls me in the direction of like, well, you don't have to do anything, Denny. You just have to survive and do your best that you can, deal with every challenge as it comes. And maybe that's your purpose. Maybe just testing your strength as a man, seeing what you're made out of, being there for your family, like your mother or close friends if they need you. Maybe that's all you need to concern yourself with, and just push on and go forward. But yeah, like you get these things when you reach middle age. You don't know which direction you're going. You're kind of just floating a little bit. And once you've learned a job or a trade, it's kind of like you're just comfortable in that. You don't have a ton of motivation to learn something completely new, completely change careers or go back to school. I mean, I hated school, so that's definitely way down the list of, if I were to ever try to make any changes. But I'm just trying to hang in there, and this self-employment thing was a nice challenge. It's something a couple years ago that really woke me up and got me going and kind of excited about life. But now that I've been doing this for a couple of years, that gets routine, and it's not always what you expected it to be, and more things come along that are challenging and a pain in your ass, and you're taking more risks than before. And I mean, yeah, it can be exciting at times, but it's also just mentally, you get a little lost and confused. So I just wanted to share that with you, and maybe some of you had that experience. Maybe I should go out and socialize a little bit coming up here now that the weather's getting nicer and nicer. There's the NHL playoffs coming up. That's something I always look forward to. And there's definitely excitement there for the hockey fans around North America. So I hope, if any of you are watching, are you pumped for the playoffs? Who's your team? Who do you got? Do you got any money riding on any of this playoffs? Yeah, let me know. I'm of course copper and blue. I bleed Oiler blue, like I have my whole life since I was 5 years old, sitting in front of the AM radio, cheering the Oilers on when they were playing for the Stanley Cup against the Philadelphia Flyers. So yeah, that's something that's coming up that's exciting, that I can look forward to, and maybe it'll boost my mood. That's in about a week and a half, I believe. The other stuff that's bumming me out, though, is like all the taxes I have to pay, and a lot of bills due, like the accountant bill and the remainder of my 2024 taxes, and as well as my GST, like the sales tax we have to collect over the years. So I got to pay all that, and then it's not going to leave me with much until I build the revenue back up through trying to be as busy as possible. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I'm going to try to get out, especially during the playoffs, go out for some beers with some friends, try to party it up a little bit while I still can before the final nail in the coffin, before I just completely retire. It's funny, like we retire from certain things when we get older. It's like some people quit drinking, some people quit, certain, maybe they're doing men's league sports and whatever, and now they're too old or they've got injuries, so they retire from that. Or they, once you get maybe into your 50s and you had kids early in life, they've moved out of the house, and now that part of your life is over. You've kind of retired from raising kids. Now you're trying to figure out what else to do, and maybe you feel some sense of confusion and maybe some longing to have your kids back, or maybe you're super stoked and excited to see them leave, which is understandable. But yeah, going out, when you're single and a bachelor, is still good regardless of age, just to socialize and get a couple drinks, take the edge off. I mentioned that in some other videos. It's funny, when I was younger, like even in my early 30s, and I would just love going out. Like I was kind of obsessed with going out and trying to meet women, and just a lot of excitement built around these new social skills that I learned. And I remember I'd hang out with my friends, and a lot of times we'd go out, but then I'd have like different factions of like my peer group. And it was funny because some of them would go out sometimes, but they'd also wouldn't be so much into the bar scene. So I would remember, like, I used to hate when we were planning a night out and there's like, we're trying to decide which place to go to and what we're going to do exactly. And then it ends up being, we're just going to chill at Steve's place and watch a movie. And it's like, seriously, on a Saturday night, there's all this, like, there's excitement and dancing and women, and they're all going to be dressed in heels and tight dresses, and you want to like sit around with a bunch of dudes and watch a movie? Like, seriously? I just never got that, and it would bug me, because if it was like one of those nights where I didn't have any options, I couldn't get anybody else to come out, and it's like I didn't really want to go out by myself, and you don't want to like ditch your friends either, so you just kind of try to make the most of it and sit through a movie and joke around and whatever. And sometimes if they're in the mood, we'd go out for a little bit after for a nightcap or something. But yeah, and then I used to get like pissed off when made plans with a buddy to go out and meet some girls or whatever, and he canceled last minute. And then, it's like the perfect night to go to a bar. It's, nice weather. You've got like festivals and stuff happening in town, and there's a bunch of bars popping off and live music and women and single people and all that. And then he can't make it, and you're like, ah, shit. You're like, damn. And then you often wonder, like, because it's almost like I had the foresight of like, I have to take advantage of this time now while I'm younger, because this isn't going to happen. I may not feel like doing this in 10 years. And lo and behold, here we are. Now sometimes I get calls to come out and I don't come out because I honestly wish I had the desire and the will and the excitement to do it, but most nights I really just don't feel like it. And it makes you wonder what, week to week, what do you want to do? And do you want to completely retire from certain parts of the single life, or what you want to do, or if you're holding out hope of meeting somebody, and then of course your life is going to change then if you get into a relationship. So maybe that's what I need. I don't know. But then again, I can't, I don't know if I can have the time for anybody, because I got to dig myself out of some financial ruts first, and just keep working on my business and improving. So yeah, that motivates me, and we'll see how that goes. But anyways, just was feeling a little lost and stuck the last few days, and wanted to share that with you. And if you're experiencing that, if you're my age and single, just let you know, of course, you're not alone, and it's normal. And let me know what you've been doing to get out of that and kind of cheer yourself up, and what some of the mindsets you have going forward. And if I think of anything more on this topic, I will mention it to you on the next one. It is Friday afternoon as the time of this recording, so TGIF. And if you're unemployed, what was it, Chris Tucker that would say, we're gonna get you high today because it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do. So there you have it. Maybe get high. There you go. Smoke some weed. Have a Monster energy drink. I don't know. Have some vodka. Whatever takes the edge off and gets you through the night. And then you wake up, the sun will shine, and you will get ready to tackle the new day. Once again, God bless you. Peace be with you. And we will see you on the next one. Have a good weekend.